Right, okay,
Yeah.
Tottenham, obviously in the news, Daniel Levy has left the club. Did that catch you
Yeah.
by surprise like it caught us by surprise?
Oh, 100%. I said I was so shocked. I was literally running around with the kids, and I went back to the phone and seen like my phone just absolutely messages after messages. All the group chats are going off, and I couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. I was so shocked. And I always said, to be fair, I never thought Daniel would step down. We don't know if he did. Obviously, there's rumors that he didn't step down now. Maybe he was pushed aside. I always thought Daniel would leave the football club when there was a buyer and a big buyer. I thought that was the time that Daniel would leave that football club. So yeah, it did catch me by a massive surprise the other night. And yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where they go from here. There's been a lot of take. I've listened to a lot of people saying, a lot of fans giving it like, can't wait now Tottenham really starts, and good riddance to Daniel Levy. I personally think Daniel did a fantastic job at Spurs. I was there when he arrived at that football club. It was a mid-table team. We was training down in Chigwell, like I said, really basic facilities, obviously at White Lane. And if you look what he's transformed that football club to the probably the best training ground in the world, possibly one of the best stadiums, if not the best in the world. What the club is worth now compared to what it was worth back then. And yeah, like I said, did he win trophies? No. Do I think Daniel gets a lot made out to be a bit of a scapegoat in that situation? I think yes. I think, like I said, Daniel didn't buy a lot. I think, and also people forget, I think Daniel has spent quite a lot of money. I think they bought poorly, but I don't. Daniel doesn't buy the players also.
Yeah, one of the things he gets criticised for is not paying the wages, though, did he? So, I mean, what was he like
Yeah.
with you? Was he like, it's £10 an hour, it's minimum wage, I'm afraid, Aaron. You're not really
No,
allowed any
no.
more than that.
Yeah, well, like, a bit more than £10 an hour, but yeah, we knew as players, and obviously when you go to England camps and you start to hear and you speak to agents, we did know when we started to especially get into like playing top four and top six that we were probably on the least of that group. But Daniel, what he does do in a lot of the contracts, what I will say is he incentivizes a lot of the contracts so based on appearances. So he will give out big bonuses, but obviously for playing, so the wages may be less. But obviously, if you do play, for example, over 25 games in the season, you'll get a big bonus. For basically your wage will work out a lot more than what it was. But like I said, your basic salary is probably lower than the average top six, top eight team. Play for all it was when I was there, and that's a known fact. But yeah, that's definitely one of the things. Obviously, he's been criticised about, but I think spending money. I think they've spent quite a lot of money. I do believe there was two times in my time. Well, one time when I was there, I think we had an opportunity when we had the likes of Modric, Bale, Scott Parker, Van der Vaart, Dawson, Ledley King, Woodgate. I believe we was close. I think we was two players away. And then I remember having conversations about we're close here. If we can get a couple, two, three more players in, we can challenge. And I also believe the Pochettino team also.
Yeah.
We the one that got to the Champions League final. I believe then if they'd have kicked on then and gone and invested at that time, I think they could have gone and challenged. And both times, I don't think that was, in my opinion, two times where Daniel and the club should have invested heavily.
Who was the manager when that first time happened? When
I
was it
think it
Harry?
was around the red Harry. Harry was there, and maybe AVB possibly with that two group. It was that group with my group there, and then obviously Pochettino with the one with Champions League. And I think that was the two times where we had the strongest team, where we was really could have kicked on and really challenged to win things, and the club didn't invest. And also, like I said, Daniel's not Joe Lewis is the owner, so how much of the decisions falls on Daniel? A lot of Daniel takes all the blame in a lot of these conversations, but how much is he getting the final say?
Who is going to get hold of Tottenham Hotspur? Because, I mean, as Aaron said, if he was going to hear the news that Daniel Levy was leaving, he expected it to be followed very quickly by the fact that there was going to be a sale. That's still sort of the rumour around the campfire, isn't it? Although I think it might be maybe even 12 months away before we start seeing proper moves in that.
Yes, it's not something that happens overnight. And reading between the lines, I think part of the issue here is that Daniel Levy was maybe leaning towards a partial sale. I think the Lewis family eventually are looking to sell the whole club, or at least a vast majority of it, despite what they've been telling us from over in the States this week. I do think that Daniel's departure is a precursor to some kind of takeover. I think in the interim, Vinay Venkatesham, who's come in from Arsenal, is going to get an awful lot of saying on how the football club is run. I know there's a new non-executive chairman that's been put in by ENIC, but I think that's just a title, really. I think Vinay is the one with the football experience. So let's see. I think we'll know, maybe not so much in January, but certainly next summer, if this is really going to be a completely new direction of travel, if they're going to spend big money on wages, if they're going to finally start paying £100 million for players, because their record signing is still £65 million Dominic Solanke, and it's quite difficult to compete with the big clubs if you're only paying £65 million for players. I say only, obviously it's all in context. I'm just not buying it that all of a sudden, a couple of days after the transfer window closes, the Lewis family have decided, you know what, we need to get rid of Daniel Levy. We're not winning enough football matches. Why has that suddenly become a thing after 20 odd years? I'm sorry.
It's not a new thing, is it? I mean, with all due respect, I mean, it's not like that run of form has come out of the blue, and that's no disrespect to Tottenham. I think, as Aaron has already alluded to there, sometimes they felt as if they're getting to a place of real challenge, and then they just haven't quite gone for it at the right moments, and that's why they haven't won as many trophies as maybe some of the talented teams that they've put together has suggested it might.